I audible?
Good afternoon, sir.
Okay, I think only 17 members are there. In the last class also same members.
Last class IM and MS, sir.
Oh, okay. Okay, let's see for 2 3 minutes.
Okay, sir.
Okay, then we will start. What is okay now? Yeah, in the morning session we have derived equations, main equations, like you can see in the whiteboard. Equation 9, which is for concentrations, and equation 10, which is applicable for the liquids, especially for the liquids, when we substitute rho by n average, particularly in place of C for the liquids. And equation 11, this is for the mole fractions. When the concentrations are expressed in the mole fraction, this equation is applicable. And similarly, this is equation 12 is also for the mole fraction, especially for the liquids. In place of C, we have substituted rho by n average. These four equations are very, very important. So from now onwards, these equations already during the PPT, just showing the PPT. Yes, these two equations, and in this one, this equation we have already seen. This is equation 9, this is equation 10, and this is equation 12. And other equation is also there when rho by m average is only in place of rho by m average, we write C. That is equation 11. Okay, equation 9, 10, 9, 10, 11, 12. 11 is not here, so 12 up to 12 it is here. So these two forms, okay, this is all this is already equal to this one. So this form here, CBLN is there, the definition of CBLN you can find out here, and here XBLN is there in the bottom, the definition of which XBLN we can find out here. So these are concentration terms and these are mole fraction terms. So we will see how to come to these two expressions. Okay, just the rearrangements of the variables. Okay, I will just derive. Yeah. So when you consider the liquid phase, in the initially when we are deriving these equations, we have just considered one concentration profile. Now for the since there are two components in your mixture, so we have to consider the concentration profiles for two components also. For example, consider this is at origin at z is equal to 0. This is at z is equal to some z. So when concentration of A is here at origin, A we have considered Ca1. Okay, the concentration will continuously get drops because Ca1 is just diffusing or participating in the concentration. So Z is equal to, when Z is equal to Z, it is Ca2. Similarly, concentration of B, in the case of A through non-diffusing B, we are seeing. So overall concentration Ca plus Cb will remain same because see, concentration, overall concentration is not changing. Only concentration of A is changing. NB is not at all participating. B component is not at all participating in the mass transfer operation. It is in a stagnant region. So when it is in a stagnant region, obviously initially if we consider this is CB1, component B at origin CB1, then the gradually as CA1 decreases, CB1 will go to decrease in order to balance this C, overall C. Okay. I hope this picture is clear, very clear. So first one is, this is origin, right, in different color. So this is origin 0. This is a completion of a mass transfer operation at Z is equal to some Z. Okay, complete mass transfer operation. Initially, the concentration of A, Ca is at first point is Ca1 we consider. So in A through non-diffusing, the A is just participating in the diffusion process. So its concentration will get decreased. So the concentration profile is continuously decreasing in this way. Okay, whereas C, overall C, Ca plus Cb, C is nothing but Ca plus Cb. So when concentration of A is decreasing in the solution, in order to keep a constant C, the concentration of B will increase. So concentration of B is gradually increasing as the concentration of A is gradually decreasing. So the constant, the C will be, overall concentration of that solution will be constant C. So from this graph, what we can write, this we can call, this is left hand approach. This side we can call, this is right hand approach. Okay, always remember C is equal to total concentration is equal to number of concentrations of n number of species present in the solution. So in our mass transfer operations, we are assuming only two components of that, C is equal to Ca plus Cb, nothing but a total concentration. Now for this graph, we are defining this is left hand approach and this is right hand approach. Okay, then how these approaches will be evaluated, let's see. So in the left hand approach, as you can see here, C is there. C is equal to Cb1 and Ca1. Okay, Ca1 and Cb1 is equal to C, the total concentration in the left hand approach. Then we can write C is equal to, writing in the black color, yeah, C is equal to Ca1 plus Cb1 from left hand, left hand. Okay, whereas from the right hand, C is equal to Ca2 plus Cb2 from right hand. Okay, if you consider this as equation 13, equation 13, and this equation as 14. Okay, then from this equation 13, okay, I will write clearly in the next page. From the left hand, we can say C is equal to Ca1 plus Cb1. Okay, then from the right hand, it is C is equal to Ca2 plus Cb2. Okay, this is equation 13 and this is equation 14. Okay, now what happens about Cb1? From this equation 13 we can write Cb1 is equal to C minus Ca1, we can write C minus Ca1. If you consider this as equation 15, then from here Cb2 is equal to C minus, just interchange, send this Ca2 to that side, send this Ca1 to this side. Okay, then we can write Ca2, C minus Ca2. This is equation 16. Okay, now this 13, 14, 15, 16 are equations we already deduced from the concentration profiles. Then equate 13 and 14. Okay, then next step is equate equation 13 and equation 14. Then how can we equate equation 13 and 14? The LHS side of equation 13 is C and RHS side of equation 13 is also C. So we can equate this equation. Therefore, Ca1 plus Cb1 is equal to Ca2 plus Cb2, we can write. When we equate this, both these equation, we can write Ca1 plus Cb1 is equal to Ca2 plus Cb2. Then what happens, we can separate the component A on one side, component B on other side. Ca1 minus Ca2 is equal to CB2 minus CB1. Okay, this is from above equation only. So implies, then we can write this equation further. How we can write? CA1 by CA2 divided by, just send these to bottom, CB2 minus CB1. CB2 minus CB1 is equal to 1. Okay, this is the equation 17. This you can consider equation 17. How we have derived that equation? Using the left and right hand approaches of the concentration graphs. We have deduced these four equations. These two equations, out of these two equations, we have just interchanged for the CB1 and CB2. Then we can write these two equations and then equate equation and 13, because C and C are there in the LHS side of both the equations. We can equate that one. Equating and rearranging, we will get this equation. So from this equation, the next step is from equation 13. From equation 13, okay, from equation 13, divide with C, capital C, which is total concentration on both sides. On both sides, we have to divide this equation 13, this one, this equation 13, both sides we have to divide. Otherwise, we can remember the sum of the mole fractions is equal to 1. Sum of the weight fractions is equal to 1. We can remember that one. Otherwise, from equation 13, we can derive that one also. Since equation 13 is C is equal to CA1 plus CB1. So C, for this equation, what we are saying, we have to divide with capital C. C is equal to CA1 by C plus CB1 by C. So we can cancel out CC from this equation. It is equal to 1. CA1, individual concentration by total concentration, is nothing but mole fraction plane 1 plus this is XB1. Similarly, from equation 14, divide with C on both sides. Same operation we have to perform. So equation 14 is C by C is equal to CA2 by C plus CB2 by C. And we can cancel out, is equal to XA2 plus XB2. Okay, you can give the equation 18, 19 for this one. 18 and 19. Now from 18, equation 18, we can write same continuation. So we can write from this equation, we can write what is XB1. XB1 is equal to 1 minus XA1. XB1 is equal to 1 minus XA1. Similarly, from this equation, XB2 is equal to 1 minus XA2. XB2 is equal to 1 minus XA2. Okay, we can give equation numbers 20 and 30, 20 and 21. Okay, when we give equation numbers from these small equations also, it is very helpful in the further derivation. So for the small expressions also, I am giving separate equation number. Okay, equation 20 and 21, we already derived this one. So next we have to do, these equations are also in our hand. So we can equate. See, this equation here in equation 18, it is equal to 1 LHS side. In 19, it is equal to 1 LHS side. So these both equations needs to be equated. Equate equation 18 and 19. Equate equation 18 and 19. So once we will see what is equation 18 and 19. 1 is equal to XA1 plus XB1 is equal to 1. XA2 plus XB2 is equal to 1. Okay. So XA1 plus XB1 is equal to XA2 plus XB2. So same, we can separate the A variables on one side, B variables on other side, is equal to XB2 minus XB1. Similarly, we will send this to this side, and we can obtain XA1 minus XA2. We have to divide by that one. So XB2 minus XB1 is equal to 1. So this is equation number 22. Equation number 22 this is. Okay, until now we already we are having all the equations which are required. Now what we have to do, so we can go through the previous equations which are 9, 10, 11, 12, which are very important. We deduce it from these basic laws. So what is ninth equation? Okay, ninth equation we will see. So this is equation 9. Okay, we have to take that equation to there. From equation 9, okay, you can see from equation 9. Okay, equation 9 once again we will write there. From equation 9, then what is equation 9? We will write once again C into DAB by Z ln C minus CA2 by C minus CA. Right. C DAB by Z. Okay, yeah, equation 9 is C DAB by Z ln C minus CA2 by C minus CA1. That's right. Okay. Then from this equation, what we have to do here, if you can see this one, concentrations are there, C minus CA1. Okay, we already deduced what is those parameters here from equation from equation 15. From equation 15, C minus CA1 is nothing but CB1. From equation 16, C minus Ca2 is nothing but Cb2. Substitute equation 15 and 16 in equation 9. Next operation is substitute equation 15 and 16 in equation 9. We have to substitute here. In place of C minus Ca2, we can substitute Cb2. In place of C minus Ca1, we can substitute Cb1. That's it. So Na is equal to DAB, C is already there, by Z ln of, in place of, just see, in place of C minus Ca2, we can substitute Cb2. Cb2 by Cb1. Okay, this is Cb2 by Cb1. Now what we have to do, when we just multiply, we will give equation number to this one. So 22, 23 we will get. Okay, you cannot do. So just leave the equation number. If you multiply this equation with 1, whether it is causing any change to this equation, nothing. When anything is multiplied with 1, the same quantity will come. X multiplied with 1, X will come. Y multiplied with 1, Y will come. 1 multiplied with 1, 2 multiplied with 1, 3 multiplied with 1, it will come. The outcome is same. Whatever we multiply with 1, the same initial variable will come into 1. So it is equated to 1. Okay, now we can give this as equation 23. Then what is this one? Why we are writing this one? We have to see what is this one, why we have to write this one. If you remember from the back side, here see, from equation 17, one is Ca1 minus Ca2 divided by Cb2 minus Cb1. Okay, we have to substitute this equation 17 over there. Okay, next operation is, in place of 1, we have to substitute that one. Next operation is substitute equation 17 in equation 23. So in this equation we have to substitute that one. In place of 1 we have to substitute that one. So in place of 1, what we have, equation 17 is CA1 minus CA2 by CB2 by CB1. So this is equation 23. Equation 23, this one, C dAB by Z, NA is equal to C dAB by Z ln of, we are already with CB2 by CB1. In place of 1 we will multiply it with CA1 minus CA2 divided by CB2 minus CB1, which is from equation 17. Okay, now see, we can write this equation as NA is equal to C dAB by Z, CA1, I am writing this first, CA1 minus CA2. Okay, then next one is next one is in place of here CB2 is there, CB2 minus CB1. Okay, since this is in the numerator, we can transform this to the denominator of that denominator. Means why we are writing like this? C, if A by B is there, when we divide with some C, what is the what it will get? So end product is A by C divided by B. Using this law only, we are writing that in place of CB2 it is divided by ln CB2 by CB1. Okay, this we can write. Okay, I am writing it clearly in the next slide. See, NA is equal to C dAB by Z. So first variable is CA1 minus CA2 divided by CB2 minus CB1 is there. Some one variable ln CB2 by CB1 is there in the here in the numerator is there. We are writing in the denominator that one, CB2 by CB1. Now what is this variable? CB2 divided by CB2 minus CB1 divided by ln CB2 by CB1. This is nothing but we are saying this is CBln, or in some textbooks it will given as CBM. It will given in your hand notes which you have uploaded to the Microsoft Teams, which is also contained the symbol of CBM in place of CBln. I am writing here as a CBln. What does this mean? CBln, it is nothing but a logarithmic concentration difference in the heat transfer. Similarly, you can encounter with delta T LMTD, logarithmic mean temperature difference. Similarly, this is logarithmic mean concentration differences. Okay, now this is the concentration difference. Okay, this equation we can give equation number as 24. Okay, if this you consider this as equation 24. Now in place of this whole quantity CB2 minus CB1 ln CB1, we can just simply write this one CB ln. Okay, now we can write in the next one. See, NA is equal to C dAB by Z. So CBln, in place of that whole quantity we are writing logarithmic mean concentration difference, and left out term is CA1 minus CA2. Okay, if you remember this equation, this is equation number 25. Okay, if you consider this equation number 25, I am showing this equation in PPT. See, here it is okay. NA is equal to C, in place of C we can have this one rho by M average. I will show you that next equation, rho by M average into CA1 minus CA2. Okay, we already know for the liquids for liquids, C is equal to rho by m average. Okay, from Liveboard, in Liveboard we can see for liquid C is equal to rho by m average. So this only we have to substitute this C is equal to rho by m average in equation number, previous equation 25, in equation number 25. When we substitute here in place of this one C, we have to substitute rho by m average. So next we will get Na is equal to DAB by Z into CBLN is there. Okay, in place of C we have to substitute rho by m average into Ca1 minus Ca2. We consider this as equation number 26. Okay, in PPT you can see this equation in PPT. See, this Na is equal to this quantity. In the morning itself we derived all these quantity. Now this we have already derived this one. Only this is equal to DAB by Z, CBLN rho by m average Ca1 in Ca1 minus Ca2. Same, that is you can see in the Liveboard. Same equation. How we derive the equation we can see there. Okay, this is the equation 25 and equation 26 are applicable for liquids. Same, the liquids when the concentration terms are given in Ca, concentration terms. Okay, when it is given in mole fraction terms, how can we do that one? Now we have to see that one in the mole fraction terms. Okay, otherwise you can use this equation. Okay, from the previous in the Liveboard, equation number 11 I guess. Okay. See, from equation 11, see here it is in the mole fractions. So now we can take this equation to there, over there, equation 11. From equation 11 I am writing over there. Okay, from equation 11, then what that equation I am writing here once again. Na is equal to CDAB by Z into ln of 1 minus XA2 by 1 minus XA 1 minus XA2 by 1 minus XA1. Okay, 1 minus XA2 by 1 minus XA1. This is equation 11 only. Same equation I am writing here. So now in order to deduce in XPLN terms, what we have to do? Same operation we have to do. Same operation means we already deduced what are those required equations in the previous only. Now see. Okay, if you see here 1 minus, writing in different color, 1 minus XA1 is equal to XB1. Okay, 1 minus XA2 is equal to XB2 from equation 20 and 21. Okay, we can substitute there. Equation 20 and 21. Now we have to perform this operation. Substitute equation 20 and 21 in equation 11, this previous equation 11. Now after substituting this, what will happen? We'll see. We have reached maximum slide limit for the Liveboard. I have to open new Liveboard. The same thing I will do. Okay, now remember this step. Substitute equation 20 and equation 21 in equation 11. Okay, I'm erasing and writing in this board only because of lack of slides, more slides. So now equation 20 is, see, in place of 1 minus okay, in place of this 1 minus XA2 we can substitute XB2. This is from equation 20. Okay, in place of 1 minus XA1 we can substitute XB1 from equation 21. So now how it will looks like, we will see. Na is equal to CdA by Z, and in place of 1 minus XA2 we can substitute XB2. 1 minus XA1 we can substitute 1 minus XB1. Okay, in place of that 1 minus XA2 I have substituted 1 minus XB2. In place of 1 minus XA1 I have substituted XB1. Now from this equation, if you multiply same operation, if you multiply with 1, nothing will happen. So what is the definition of 1 in terms of mole fraction? We already derived that one in the previous case only. So here if you can see this one. So from equation 22, XA1 minus XA2 by XB2 minus XB1 is equal to 1. Now this we have to substitute over there. Substitute equation 22. Substitute equation 22 here. In place of 1 we can substitute that one. So Na is equal to CdAB by Z ln XB2 by XB1. In place of 1 we have to substitute that one, equation 22. This one, XA1 minus XA2 by XA1 minus XA2 divided by XB2 minus XB1. Okay, this is equation. Then we have to perform the same operations now. Just we need to take to the bottom, and in place of XB2 minus XB1 divided by ln XB2 by XB1 we can write XB ln. XB ln we can write. Show you, keep it a space. Okay, this slide I think I can use. This slide no use. I am using here this slide. So now see, in place of all these equations we can write that equation. I am writing there. Na is equal to CdAB by Z CA, this is XA1 minus XA2 divided by XB2 minus XB1, which is divided by XB2 by XB1. Now in all these places we can write XB ln. So final equation will be Na is equal to CdAB by Z. Further we can write XB ln into XA1 minus XA2. Okay, if you see this equation in PPT, it is completely not visible in PPT. I am showing without slide mode. Yeah. Okay, you see here, this is this equation. Okay, xa2 xa1 minus xa2 xbln. Okay, in place of just showing in the board, in place of this c, we can write for the liquids rho by m average. Okay, this is that quantity. In the slides you can see uh, this one. So Na is equal to DAB rho. We already derived in the morning this one. Now we had derived this one. DAB by Z XBLN rho by M average XA1 minus XA2. Same equation in the live board. Na is equal to rho by M average instead of C into DAB by Z XBLN into XA1 minus XA2. Okay, these are the equations. This is equation 27. We can give this one. Okay, this is equation 27. We can. Okay, this all the equations applicable only for the A through non-diffusing B case where NB is 0. So component B is retaining in a stagnant region or it is a constant. It is not at all diffusing. Okay, all these equations are applicable for the case of liquid, that too in a only A through non-diffusing B case. The next cases are for the gases case, we have to see same A through non-diffusing B for the gases case. In the next class, we will see that one. How for the gases we have to derive. It is a very simple equation. If you get this liquid equation, just instead of in place of C, we have to substitute P by RT. If this is Ca, we have to substitute Pa by RT. If this is Ca1, we have to substitute Pa1 by RT. If this is Ca2, we have to substitute Pa2 by RT. Okay, that's the difference. Okay, using the previous equations, equation 9, 10, 11, 12 only, we will derive this equation. Same operations, replace concentration with pressure terms, that is applicable for the gases phase. Okay, in the next class, we will see how these equations are derived. Okay, any doubts? Okay, no doubts.
No, sir.
Okay, then for the rest of topics, I just simply go what are the topics left out in this unit 1. So in the next class, we will see this one for the gases. Tomorrow there are 2 classes. Okay. In the 2 classes, we will complete this one, and at the same time, this equimolar counter diffusion. It is very small derivations are involved. So we will see tomorrow this one. What is equimolar counter diffusion, and 2 equations, 2 to 3 equations will be there. The simple equations are there. These 4 equations we will see, and you already have a notes in your hand. Just all these equations are contained in your notes. Just go through that notes once again, so that it will be easy to understand. Then next one is diffusion rates. What are the diffusion? We already know molecular diffusion is there, turbulent diffusion, nothing but eddy diffusion is there. How this diffusion in with the simple examples like ink dispersion, some dye dispersion, some room spray, and some nasal spray, everything is comes under a rate of diffusion rate. How this will be evaluated, I will give you more examples regarding that one. And next one is the determination and estimation of diffusivity. Usually the 2 experimental methods are there, these two, to determine the diffusivity of any component. But in case of any absent of experimental data, we can use the empirical equations. Empirical equations or experiment is nothing but somebody has conducted experiments and observed those behavior in many gases. Okay, on those parameters only, they have formulated this equation. How for the every gas, how can we use this equation? They are just given that one. So this is called a Wilkie equation. Okay, I will briefly introduce about this Wilkie equation. Then similarly for the case of liquids, Wilkie-Chang equation is there. These 2 equations are frequently used in this mass transfer course. So in deeply, I will just go through this one. The next important part and the last part of this unit is the mass transfer coefficients. Okay, how these mass transfer coefficients are involved? It is completely dependent on these derivations, okay, which we have derived now, and tomorrow 2 classes we are going to derive these equations. All these equations are very useful in the part C of the unit 1. So just simply, if you can derive this equation in a simple manner, okay, whatever the equations we derived here, then only you will know what is part C. Otherwise it is very difficult to go for the part C. Just go through the notes and just derive on your own, then you come to know what is mass transfer coefficients. Mass transfer coefficients for the A through non-diffusing B and for the A through equimolar counter diffusion. Okay, these are the cases for liquids. For the liquids, A through non-diffusing B, previous equations only which we derived, these equations only used here in order to mark what are these mass transfer coefficients. Okay, in case of equimolar counter diffusion also same thing. Okay, you just have to go through. Okay, part B, when you are familiar with part B only, then only you can go to the part C. Okay, otherwise you can't go for part C. Okay, same with the gas phase. These equations are applicable for liquid phase, these equations are applicable for gas phase. Then last part is in the C part only. The last part is theories of mass transfer. So how the mass transfer theories are there? 4 type of theories. First one is film theory, and frequently this is clubbed with two resistance or two film theory. So we have to write it at two resistance or two film, not two resistance or two film theory. Okay, we have to do this one. And next one, okay, the next one is the film theory and penetration theory and surface renewal theory. Okay, these theories are there. These theories we don't have to go for a derivation, deep derivations. Okay, in case you want solution for this second order differential equation, which is at unsteady state, just refer the error factors first. Okay, how to calculate the error factor equations, which might you have seen in the mathematics. So you can go through the error factors. Then if you have any doubt regarding this one when we are deriving this one, so just ask me. Otherwise we will just, this solution is enough. Okay, only theory part of the theories are in your syllabus, not the derivation part. The next one is surface renewable theory, and last one two film or two resistance theory. This is also. Two resistance, two film theory, and the final question in the unit 1 is mass transfer coefficient estimation through wetted wall tower. Very important experimentally also. We will try to derive all these things. Okay, just my sincere request is just to go through the notes and derive on your own, write down your notes. If you know the part B, part A, you can know the part B. If you know the part B, then only you can go to part C. Otherwise, everything will be blur, you can't understand anything. So sincerely just follow the notes in class. If you don't if you have any issue, just contact me. If you have any doubts, you can contact me anytime. So I'm just going to take your attendance. Okay, give me your attendance. Number 1. We start 17 series. Okay, 17 series 24, 16 series.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, 16 series 20, 17 series 24, 28. 17 series 28.
Sir, actually, he's facing some technical issues, sir, so he can't speak.
Okay.
He pressed.
Okay, no problem. Taking this one. Okay, 1, 2, 3.
3 present, sir.
5.
Present, sir.
Pavani is absent.
Sir,
Power gone, it seems, sir.
Okay.
పొద్దున్నుంచి సార్ అందుకే
5 is there. 5. Number 5.
Yes, sir.
6.
Present, sir.
7.
Present, sir.
8.
Present, sir.
9. 9. Okay. 11.
Present, sir.
13. Okay. 17.
ప్రజెంట్ సార్
19.
Sir.
20. 22.
Sir, 20 present, sir.
Present, sir.
24.
22 present, sir.
Okay. 27. 29.
Present, sir.
32.
Present, sir.
34. 34. Okay. 39. Okay. 50. DCT 49. DCT 49. Raise your hand.
ప్రెజెంట్
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. I hope you understood. Just if you have any doubts, just contact me. Okay. Have a nice day. Bye.
Bye, sir.
Okay.